Tech. It's a moment that forces us, collectively, to step back and think about what we sacrificed for a more convenient and connected world. Posted on March 26, 2018, 21:46 Greenwich Mean Time. Facebook's Cambridge Analytica scandal has everything: peculiar billionaires, a once-adored startup turned monolith, a political mercenary who resembles a Bond villain and his shadowy psychographic profiling firm, an eccentric whistleblower, millions of profiles worth of leaked Facebook data, Steve Bannon, the Mercers, and, crucially, Donald Trump, and the results of the 2016 presidential election. On its face, the incident read as confirmation of many people's worst fears, that the online platforms we live on are manipulating us, using the personal information we provided in good faith without our knowledge. Add to it that one of those many unintended outcomes could have been Donald Trump's election, and you've got the makings of a lasting outrage. While the main players in the scandal, Facebook, Cambridge Analytica, and Trump, will occupy headlines, they're just the context, the perfect conditions for genuine outrage. But the Cambridge Analytica scandal isn't really about Cambridge Analytica at all. This is a data collection scandal. This is a scandal triggered by a specific incident, but that is broadly about the ways massive companies track us, harvest information from us, and then sell us as coercion targets in sophisticated information campaigns that could be for anything, from diapers to mattresses to anti-vax literature. The story will endure not because of animosity toward political data use, but because it perfectly touches upon a deeper anxiety about our online privacy that's been building for years. Indeed, the Cambridge Analytica scandal could well be the catalyst for a much bigger targeting revolt, a full-scale personal and public reckoning that looks at the way we've used the internet for the last decade. It's a moment that forces us, collectively, to step back and think about what we sacrificed for a more convenient and connected world. And on an internet that feels increasingly toxic, it's hard to look at the trade-offs we've made and feel like we're getting a fair deal. You can see this reckoning already play out across the media as the focus shifts from Cambridge Analytica's deeds to more general concerns about privacy and the degree to which our personal lives are cataloged so that we can be targeted by anyone with a dollar, or ruble, to spend online. Over the weekend, Ars Technica reported that Facebook has long requested access to contacts, SMS data, and call history on Android devices, hiding behind a confusing opt-in pages cover. On Twitter, Facebook users are downloading their data and combing through it to highlight various abuses of trust, that the company kept a record of private phone calls and text message data, or that Facebook shared personal information with outside entities for ad purposes. Download your own Facebook, Google, and YouTube data and you'll find years worth of personal information, every photo, comment, sticker, emoji, video you've ever posted online, every location you've visited, an IP address you've logged in from, every search, every file, and every single website you visited. It's binary confirmation of something we perhaps all have silently suppressed. Every movement you make online, and even where you move about in the world, is fastidiously cataloged, analyzed, and ultimately sold. In the wake of this revolt, a 2010 clip of Steve Jobs talking about privacy has found new resonance in recent days. In an interview with journalists Walt Mossberg and Kara Swisher, Jobs is asked to weigh in on a then-recent Facebook scandal and lays out his feelings on user privacy, as Mark Zuckerberg looks on in the aisles. Privacy means people know what they're signing up for, in plain English, and repeatedly, he says. I'm an optimist. I believe people are smart, and some people want to share more data than other people do. Ask them every time. Make them tell you to stop asking them if they get tired of your asking them. Let them know precisely what you're going to do with their data. Today, the clip is presented as a face-to-face warning from Jobs to Zuckerberg and as proof of sorts that Facebook knew exactly what sort of surveillance tools it was building. Indeed, Facebook's history of privacy scandals makes the current revelations feel all the more flagrant. In 2007, Zuckerberg first apologized for its controversial Beacon ad program, which tracked purchases on outside sites and posted that information onto a user's news feed. Instead of acting quickly, we took too long to decide on the right solution. I'm not proud of the way we've handled this situation, and I know we can do better, Zuckerberg wrote at the time. 3 years later, in a sweat-filled interrogation at another D conference, Zuckerberg repeatedly dodged direct questions about Facebook's cavalier attitudes towards privacy. More than 11 years after Beacon, Facebook is still behaving recklessly with our personal information and still making the same apologies. The only difference is that this time the advertising systems are far more complicated and the apologies come in full-page ads in the New York Times. The great targeting revolt isn't just about the platforms. Some in the ad industry are coming clean too. On Sunday, The Verge published an editorial by a former digital marketer, suggesting that Cambridge Analytica